Ohio Hoops giving you Player of the Year for Ohio. This is, I think, your fourth or fifth award. What's it mean to have all of these awards? First of all, like, what's that a reflection of to you?
First is God, it's a blessing from God, I put in a lot of hard work and dedication to the game of basketball, so getting those awards is a blessing for me, it's making me, keep going even more.
Not only is it exciting because he's my son, it's exciting because of the work he puts in. You always want to see a kid get rewarded for the work they put in.
It runs in the family, our basketball in our family, it runs in the family, so it motivates me just to work harder every day, make my family proud.
The Johnson bloodline, that's the example, from my brother Juby, from my brother Michi, from my son Sonny, who's had 2 hip surgeries, who's at Detroit, so who wasn't able to play because of that. But from my nephew Michi, from Marcus, my nephew Mason Broyers, the bloodline is strong as far as what we like to do, and that's ball.
My dad, my cousins, my uncles, my aunties, so them being successful is very important to our family, making me want to go harder every day.
Usually have kids where you got to make them get up and work out, make them shoot, make them set up their own. He sets up his own workouts. He set up his, for example, yesterday he set up his basketball workout. Then he set up his pool workout. Then he set up his strength and conditioning workout. And then when he was done with that, he came back that night and shot 500 jumpers. So, it's the work that he's putting in without me having to tell him a word, say one thing to him.
A lot of people see the success that I have, the accomplishments that I have, but they don't know how hard I work. I work probably like 3 times, 4 times a day, sometimes 2 a day, sometimes 3 a day. So I put a lot on my body, and I work hard. Everything, getting shots up, 500 shots up, after a workout, lifting, agility, all that, it's working. I'm trying to get better. I would say get more athletic, more faster and quicker on my moves for sure, and being efficient on my shot.
He's had the spotlight on him since they was ranking him. It sounds bad. The #1 second grader in the country, coming up since second grade. So, you hear that going all the way up, and he's been on the radar since he was in second grade, and everywhere he went, everywhere he played, he was always he always had to perform. So, I think that prepared him for moments like this.
I really just put my head down and keep working. Don't worry about the rankings, the social media. Just put my head down, keep getting better, and working every day with my trainers.
I think he's confident. You know what I'm saying? He's a confident kid. And that's the way we raise him. To believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So on that court, he better believe in himself because that's the type of pressure we want to put on him. Not pressure, but that's what we expect of him.
I put in a lot of work, so when you put in a lot of work, it's really no pressure. You just go out there and play a game, make shots and just win. I always wanted to be a two-way player, offensive, defensive player, so there's a lot of players that can score the ball but don't really play defense, I want to be both.
That's what I think the biggest jump for him this year was from last year. He played defense last year, but this time it seemed like he enjoyed it as a sophomore. It's only going to get better when he's a junior and senior. But, he loves to compete. He's a competitor. He don't back down from challenges. So, he took a lot of the load for us this year offensively, and we had him checking not always the best players, but, towards the end of the year, we had games we had to defend the best guys, and he steps up for challenges for sure. When we watch film, he comes back a better defender. He comes back making the right passes or making the right shots or things like that. Just film study is very, very important to having success.
Flying to the hoop against Faith, talking about stepping up in the big moment. Do you have a particular?
Oh, well, flying to the hoop is probably not just because of the 40 games, because of the stage and because of the team we played. They back-to-back state champions from Texas, multiple Division I players, big stage with media, scouting services, and college coaches, and to play like that on that type of stage on both ends of the floor was just impressive.
Big time stage, and I performed at a high level. My teammates trusted me, the coaches, so I just went out there and played how I played.
It was great because against those teams that we competed against, he performed at a high level. So he can only get better, by competing against the best. And that's what we try to do, surround us, make sure, our program is one of the top programs in the state. We try to make sure we're competing against the top talent. So, and not just top talent as college prospects. So our main thing is getting kids out college opportunities. So that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. They were great seniors.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimate Dre, the big personality, but an ultimate competitor. CJ, the ultimate winner. I mean, you can't replace. I mean, he just wanted to defend and guard. I mean, CJ is just irreplaceable as a winner. One of the biggest winners I've ever had, ever in my coaching career. And then Carter coming over and just, fitting right in, just doing whatever it takes to win as well, and just playing a great role, being that athlete, being that other scorer that we needed. I wish he wouldn't have got hurt towards the end of the year, but I think things could have turned out a lot different. But I mean, they were just unbelievable. And then Corey Wilson, we didn't mention him. Corey Wilson, I mean, this guy has the biggest heart besides just basketball. But as a basketball player, he did everything you want him to do as a competitor. So, he was surrounded by great guys.
They're my boys for life. It was sad the way the season ended, but them just trusting me, telling me to be aggressive, telling me to just keep going no matter what. They know a lot of people, try to come after me. Say them motivating me just to go out there and be myself. Make me better, make them better for them too.
It shaped them because they're competitors. When you're around winners, you become a winner no matter what. It's a pleasure to have a kid like Marcus who does not act like a sophomore.
Yeah.
So has the mentality of being seniors like those guys, when this comes down to competing and playing. But those guys you couldn't be around them and not be competitors. So that's the thing, that's the good thing, and he soaked it all in, just, having fun riding with his guys.
In practice, they teaching me every single day, no matter what. Just when I'm learning every single day and getting better, So that for me is just helped me grow as a player. They're my brothers, since life, for life, they're my brothers, So my job as a point guard is just to make the team happy, make the coaches happy, and win.
MVP, Dre, clap it up for him. 25-10.
25 and 10, baby. 25 and 10. That's big time. You can go off a high scoring, but you dominate that whole game. That whole game. Not saying Marcus didn't, you did it too. Sometimes, you deserve that, and that's unbelievable for you to notice that. That's a special teammate. All right, and that's what we got, a special team. What it means is, he's not about himself. He's about the team. At the end of the day, I try to plant seeds that will last a lifetime. When they're out of my care and they're out of their parents' care, they're about to go to college. They're about to go in the real world. Some of the kids are graduate. So at the end of the day, you're going to go through tough times and hard times. How do you handle the tough times and the hard times? You handle it by having somebody you can always count on, and that's God. So at the end of the day, if you got God beside your side and you know who you can pray to and come to when things get tough, when you're on your own, then you're gonna always find a way to be successful. You're gonna always find a way to get over the hump, and you're gonna always turn out on the right side. Without God, you have nothing. Everything we have is because of God's favor. So people might say, "Oh, Marcus, you're a great basketball player. Oh, Sonny, you're a great coach." But we know we're humble. We know who we are, but we're humble because we know at any minute God can take that away from you. Once you start thinking it's about you, that's when you fail. But once you start continue knowing that God has put you on this pedestal and God is giving you this opportunity to be successful and God is giving you that gift, you will never fear so long as we fail. So that's one thing we will never stop giving God the glory and stop thanking God for the favor He blessed not just me and my son, but our entire family.
Why is faith so important to you?
I love God, God led me through the hard times of my life, so him just being there for me every step of the way is big time for me and my family.
If you're willing to share, you talk about hard times. What kind of hard times you talking about?
Just stuff I go through at home, losing my granddad, that was a tough, I never lost somebody that close to me, so losing my granddad was very, emotional for me and my family. He just made me go even harder.
Well, I've seen that. We got a close family, so,
Yeah.
my father was an unbelievable man. He's just a great person to be around. So, I know our whole family mourns the death of my dad because he was such just an impactful person throughout our whole entire family. So, for sure, he wanted to do something for my father, and but more importantly, he wanted to do it for himself too. It's something he loves to do.
And one thing, I feel like that's just the work is going to show. You put in work, it's going to show for you.
His biggest inspiration comes from within himself. You know, when I say that, that's what he loved to do. You know, and God first, and then himself. He wants to be great. And when you want to be great, you do what great people do to be successful, and that's what he's doing.